Welcome to the Random Show. As always, I got my boy, Alex W. Hunter. And I am DJ L. Spade, and we're going to do what we always do, our recap of the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl halftime show. We keeping the tradition alive. First, let me say, you have a personal connection with the Super Bowl winners because that's right, your daddy, Papa Hunter, Al Hunter, is a former Seahawks player, so I know he is over the moon.
Motherfucking right. Let me tell you something for y'all that don't know. My pops, from until I think the mid 90s, he had the record for the Seahawks for the longest kick return that he set in the early 80s. So shouts out to Pops. Shouts out to Pops.
No, we're gonna give that man some more shine, man. Because the man played in Notre Dame with Joe Montana. He was the first pick in the supplemental draft.
Ever. The first, yeah.
The supplemental
Yes,
draft
he
been giving the
was.
stars ever since. Your dad was the first one in there, man. Get that man his shine. I'm a fan.
That's right. That's right. If the internet didn't exist back then, but yeah, Pops did some things, man. He was the first 1,000-yard rusher that Notre Dame ever had as well. He was a running back. So, he's a trailblazer, man. Broke down some barriers and,
And that's where you get your face
made me
from, man.
proud
Your
to be
face
a
looks just like
Hunter.
Al, by the way.
Bro, the older I get, the more I'll look at a picture, especially from like side
Oh
profile.
yeah,
Bro, I'm like,
you Al.
I see it now. I could never see it, but the older I get, like I see it now. I was like, God damn,
Yeah.
I
I
am
saw
his
it.
son.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, oh yeah, word.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to say that. Back to the Super Bowl though, man. So a lot of folks was complaining saying it was boring, and it was only boring if you don't appreciate the sport for what it is. I didn't find it boring, man. I thought it was two coaches going against each other who knew they had booty ass quarterbacks. They couldn't do anything, so they was trying to find a way to win in spite of their shitty ass quarterbacks. But am I looking at this wrong?
I'd say a little bit. Here's the thing. Going to your first point, a lot of people thought it was boring because a lot of people don't like good defense. And there's three phases to football: offense, defense, special teams. And people really only like those offensively strong teams, put up a lot of points, explosive plays. Like people love that. But I like a good defensive game. Now, if the final score of the game is like 3-0, I would say, okay, yeah, that's pushing it a little bit. That's pushing it. But like I like a good because you think back to the Ravens when they had Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and like that defense, one of the best defenses ever. So I like a good defensive showing. And with your comment about the shitty quarterbacks, I would say Sam Darnold is not a shitty quarterback. He didn't have his best game in the Super Bowl, but I would like the record to show that I think this is the NFL record. During the postseason, Seahawks had 0 turnovers. And also, you look at what he did with Minnesota. He defied expectations. They kicked his ass to the curb. Seahawks pick him up and they win a Super Bowl. And I was like, if he I'm not gonna say he is. I think it's early to say if he is in that elite handful of
Oh hell
quarterbacks,
no! I can say right now he's
but
not.
but dig this. He's in the same draft class as Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. And Lamar and Josh Allen are bona fide superstars.
Okay, but
Yet
let's stop right there for a second.
Sam Darnold is the one that got a chip first.
Let's
I
stop
mean,
for a
that gotta
second.
mean
But
something,
no,
right?
stop for a second now. Because let's
Yeah,
be
yeah.
honest, the only legit star of that draft class is Lamar Jackson. And now I say Josh Allen became a star later, but it took that man like damn near 4 years to even become serviceable. Now, Sam Darnold
That's true. That's
is
true.
nowhere near those two guys. I mean, Baker Mayfield, no, he's not even Baker Mayfield. Let's be honest, dog. Dude is a testament to what can happen if you have a damn good defense. In the same vein of old Peyton Manning when he had no neck, he couldn't turn, and he had that damn good defense with the Broncos. Same thing as your boy with Tampa Bay. What was it, Brad Johnson? Was it Brad Miller? Was his name? I forgot. Was it Brad Johnson?
Fuck it, maybe.
Yeah. See, you look, bro. If you got a good defense, man, that can compensate for a shitty offense.
I would say Darnold is better than serviceable. I'm not gonna say he's elite, Now, if he balls out next year, we could have that conversation. But right now, I'd say he is good. He's a good quarterback, and he did enough to get them through the postseason and win the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl wasn't the prettiest game for him. And JSN also got shut down. I think they game planned to shut him down, especially with Vrabel as the coach. But when you talk about Peyton Manning, are you talking about when he won with the Broncos?
Yes, when he won the Broncos, he had no neck.
Um, they had one of the historically best offenses that year.
It wasn't because
Like
of
they're,
Peyton Manning though. He was trash
yeah,
that year.
I wasn't following. Like maybe that is the case, but like they put up the offense as a whole put up like historical numbers that year, but then the Seahawks defense shut them down.
Let me ask you something, because you said Darnold is a serviceable quarterback. I just need to go down this list. You tell me who you think Sam Darnold is better than. These are all the starting NFL quarterbacks. Drake May. Do you think Sam Darnold is better than Drake May?
Yeah,
Josh Allen.
no,
Patrick Mahomes.
no.
Jalen Hurts.
I would say no, but if the Eagles have another lackluster season, I'm gonna say we could talk about it, depending on how the Hawk season go next year too.
It's actually fair. That's a fair point. Lamar Jackson.
Nah,
Trevor Lawrence.
nah,
Joe Burrow.
nah. I would say Cincinnati's issues are not because of Joe Burrow. He's good. They got some I'd say managerial issues.
Caleb Williams.
No. Caleb's still young. I would probably say there are some aspects that Williams is better. There are some aspects more on the maybe maturity side that Sam Darnold is better.
Let the record say you said no. Kirk Cousins.
Kurt ain't been
Kind
a
of the same
starter.
guy.
Nah. I would say because Kirk Cousins, he didn't start this year, did he?
No, but he's possibly going to be starting with the Arizona Cardinals.
So I would say if we're talking only starting quarterbacks, Kirk this year is not in the conversation.
Okay, well,
So
we'll just put
who
an
knows?
asterisk on
Who
him.
knows?
We'll put an asterisk. Mac Jones.
Nah, Mac Jones is a backup too.
Now, Mac Jones is projected to start with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Projected, but
Yeah.
this year he
I'm just
was he
saying,
was
but
not starting.
okay, so Aaron Rodgers.
I'd say nah. I think Aaron's too much of a vet. I'd say Aaron's better.
Deshaun Watson.
When was the last time he played?
So he's supposed to be starting for the Browns next year. But okay, let's say Shadur Sanders.
Yeah. Nah. Shadur's a little. He's green. He's. You
Williams.
have Jackson Dart with the Broncos. I would say Jackson Dart's exciting, but Darnold's probably a better QB.
How about my team?
Uh,
How about Cam?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch much Titans, so
Damn, we only won three
I
games. I don't blame you.
so I
I don't blame you.
honestly I don't got an answer for you.
Can I be honest with you?
Is he bet? Yeah, go
I
ahead.
kind of stopped watching halfway through the season because we was complete ass. I was like, man, we cheeks,
Bro,
bruh,
once y'all got rid of Vrabel and Vrabel went to the Super Bowl, I was like, yeah, Vrabel's not the problem. It's the Tennessee organization that's the
bruh,
problem.
bruh. The curse of McNair, dog. We can't shake it. Like ever since we locked McNair out
Uh,
and didn't let that man train Vince Young, it's been a constant downhill slide since then.
but I'm just looking at a list of the starting QBs. Kenny Pickett, Darnold's better than him. Justin Herbert, Herbert is better. Quinn Ewers at the Dolphins, I'm gonna say Darnold's better. JJ McCarthy, Darnold's better. Tyler Shaw for the Saints, Darnold's better. Jackson Dart, Darnold's better. Brock Purdy, I'd give it to Purdy. And then we got Mayfield, Cam Ward, and Josh Johnson at the Commanders. I would say, yeah, I'd say Darnold's better. So Darnold's better than at least like half of the
That
starting
ain't half,
QBs
dog.
this
That's a
year.
little less than half.
Maybe so. But I think next year will tell. Like next year, we'll see defending Super Bowl champs. Does he mature? Because Darnold was a backup for the longest time. So this is the next year would be what his third year starting. So we'll see. Because Baker Mayfield had a second birth with the Buccaneers. everybody thought he was washed, and now, you know, Bucks have been doing them pretty good. So I think next year will tell us if he's deserving to be in that upper echelon conversation or not. They say defense wins championships, offense puts butts in the seats.
Yes. Everybody want to see
Yeah.
spectacular stunts, but honestly, me myself personally watching that, I ain't gonna lie. By the third quarter, I knew who was gonna win already. Like, if I'm being honest, I knew who was gonna win before the game even started. I was like, yeah, we know who this is because it's not talked about enough about how much the playoffs is the battle of attrition. Once your quarterback is hurt, dollar, what are we talking about? Once you got all these hurt people, you're kind of out of it, man. Because
Man.
all these
Yeah.
like beginning of the season analysis means nothing because your star player's hurt. What are we talking about? It's a battle
Yeah.
of
Look at the
attrition.
Broncos. Bo Nix.
Bo Nix got
Bo
hurt.
Nix, he broke his ankle winning them the game. And then so after that, like I like the current Denver Broncos. So I was like, man, it would be cool if they found a way to get past the next game, but I'm very doubtful because Bo Nix is that guy.
He is.
And backups sometimes they are that guy, but usually they're not.
They're not that.
And
That's why they
so
backups, man. It was that guy that be starting.
yeah.
Well, Patrick Mahomes was a backup too until he wasn't, right? I mean, but they was
Yeah.
always brought in. Well, Tom Brady's a little bit different, but Patrick Mahomes was always brought in to be eventually
The next guy.
the next guy. It's just nobody does quarterback development no more. They just want the rookie to come in there and be the man, and that doesn't really work out like that. I think we all can admit now that just getting a green ass college player and being like, "Oh, lead the team," is stupid.
Yeah, yeah, man, you 100% right on that. Like I definitely like you got to develop, especially because a lot of the NFL offense is different from what these dudes be running in college, man. It's like there's not as many opportunities for running quarterbacks. Like unless you're like a Lamar Jackson or a Patrick Mahomes, like most quarterbacks have to transition from college because a lot of colleges do like the options. It's different in the pros, man. So I think yeah, there's a little impatience going on, which
Not only
especially
that,
like coaches get fired left and right
left and
now
right.
too. Bruh.
Not only that, everybody's good in the NFL. Everybody is the best at their position, bro. You're dealing with the elite of the elite, the top
Yeah.
0.001% of people. Like that guy that you think ain't fast, he's really fast, bro. Like a lot of guys get this Al Bundy syndrome and think, I couldn't. No, you couldn't. You couldn't. You can't do what those guys do. The slowest person on that football field will fold your ass up. Realize that,
Yeah.
dog. The punter will probably
Bro,
fold your ass up.
you could take the second string of any team and put them against the best college team, and it's night and day difference, bro.
Joes versus pros, we need to bring that shit back, man. Because guys need to be humbled again. You guys think y'all got it in you, and you don't, man. Like I remember that's the first time I got humbled when I started training kickboxing. I got pretty good, and I was beating some guys. Then some pros came in. I'm like, yeah, nah, I got humbled real quick. Let me tell you something, man. Torian Whitlow, this motherfucker humbled me so much to the point that I was sparring dude punched me in the leg. You know how demoralizing that is for a grown man to be sparring with you and punching you in your legs and you can't do shit? Bro, I was like, yeah, I can't go pro. No, I'm not as good as I thought I was. After the time, like, okay. Time to get on these computers.
Yeah, everything ain't for everybody. No matter how much you want it to be, sometimes it just ain't your lane. Recently, I've come back to the Seahawks. Like I was never not on the Seahawks, but you remember they went to back-to-back Super Bowls, and in the second one
Pete
there
Carroll.
was that. Yeah, so that
I give
ever since
Marshawn Lynch the ball, huh? That's still
yeah,
haunts you, huh?
yeah. So ever since then, I've been kind of out on the Hawks just because they hurt me. They betrayed what I thought we stood for, and it was just I just couldn't. It's not like I don't dislike Pete Carroll. Like I wanted him to be successful with the Raiders. He wasn't, unfortunately. Russell Wilson, I'm kind of ambivalent on him at this point, but ever since that Super Bowl, there was a long stretch of time where I was just like, man, I don't really care to watch the Seahawks. If I had to choose a team, I'm not gonna choose the Hawks. But it just took so long for me to get over that. I think like when Pete Carroll left and Russ was gone, it was kind of like a refresh for me. So it's like, okay, you know what? That's washed away now, and I can start letting them back in.
Who hurt
Of
you?
course, they won the Super Bowl this year, but I think that transition needed to happen for me to fully come back to the Seahawks because it's what happened was inexcusable. Like it's just y'all shouldn't have done that play. Russ, in my opinion, if that was the call, he should have changed the fucking call. Quarterbacks do that all the time.
I totally 110% understand where you're coming from because that's how I felt when the Titans lost the Super Bowl against the St. Louis Rams at the time, man. That should
Mm.
have been our goddamn Super Bowl. And I still contained it. Blaine Bishop dumbass didn't get hurt. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Look, man, I've had a love-hate relationship because I was a Oilers fan before I was a Titans fan because they
Mm,
was the
mm,
Houston
mm.
Oilers and I was a Warren Moon fan. And I almost jumped off of them when they traded Warren Moon to let in Cody Carson to be the quarterback. And Warren Moon, I think he went to Minnesota and still was out there slinging them things, slinging them birds. I'm like, yo,
Hmm.
this. But I stuck with them because after that they got Steve McNair, and yeah, then we got our team back. We got Eddie George, Javon Curse, Wycheck. Man, we had a solid squad. Defense was great. But yeah, that Super Bowl, man, I almost jumped off. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing, man? They had us out there looking like clowns, man. Like we was on butter skates. We hurt our
Man,
own guy. How the hell you say to get hurt by by your old team? Dog? I'm like, bro, what we doing, bro?
I was voting for the Titans in that game. I was rooting for them. The Titans, the Browns, and the Jets. They got a
Perpetually
lot of
bad.
the managerial issues that they need to figure out because either they don't give a fuck or they give a fuck and they just ain't got the right people. I don't know. It seems like they don't give a fuck the longer things go.
I think it's just all about the money. They're like, man, we finna make these billions anyway, dog. Fuck it, we ball. Like I don't care, dog. Like I'm gonna be a legend at the
Yeah.
bank. I ain't got no Super Bowl, but I got these super bills. Hell.
Yeah, boy. Billions, boy. Cincinnati's trying to figure it out, but they ain't figured it out yet. But hopefully they do sooner or later because Burrow can't be keep getting hurt. They gotta they gotta figure some shit out.
All right, let's pivot to the
Yeah.
halftime performance though, because this has been
Yeah.
a big discussion on the interwebs for a long time. As you know, they had the alternative halftime show from Turning Point USA. We ain't got to talk about that shit, dog. Let's talk about the Super Bowl halftime show. What did you
Yeah.
think about that, Judd?
So coming in, I knew the name Bad Bunny, but I was unfamiliar with his music. So I didn't really go in with any expectations, except like I'm gonna be introduced to who this guy is. And in terms of performance, like it was a hell of a show. Like production quality was off the chain, told a story, and like even though I don't speak much Spanish, like I could follow because I know a little history because they started in the sugarcane field, and I was like, oh shit. Okay, so he's really like
Putting
he's
on.
he's here to put on, yeah. And then he fell through the roof, and I was like, so from the storytelling aspect, from a production aspect, the shit was dope. While I was watching the game, I found out, I hope this isn't just hearsay, that he's bisexual. And watching the show, they got guys dancing on guys and girls dancing on girls and all that stuff. And I was like, all right, so he's holding it down for everybody. Because if he's bisexual, equal representation.
Guys, but there's no guys. I missed that part.
It's not like it was like front and center, but like if you're watching the dancers, you go back and rewatch it, you'll see some like dudes dancing with dudes.
Oh,
And
word.
yeah, it's
Inclusion,
and it's
baby.
not it's not even the focus. It's just
Yeah.
in passing. Because all the dancers are out there doing their thing. And I was like, okay, I respect that because he's holding it down for his people, his country, and there's straight, there's bi, there's gay, and whatever else is in between. So he's holding it down for everybody. He loves everybody in this country. Everybody gets represented, and I was with that. I ain't got a problem with that. I know a lot of people did. Um, just looking through the comments online, but I respect it. And another part of me liked it because he was fanning the flames of white rage. And whether you're black, Latino, Asian, or whatever, whenever somebody's doing that, like, I'm with it, like, fuck yeah. So, uh, you know, and so, like, I liked it overall, like just what he was there to represent, what he was there to do. I thought it was a great show.
You are 110% right. So, what I loved about this show, off top, was the setting and the blocking and the stage. This was one of the most colorful shows I've seen in a long time. Like, for the last 5 years, man, all the shows have been monotone and white and just dull. This was vivid. It was fun. It was everything you wanted in a Super Bowl. It was a party. It gave a party like atmosphere. It was just perfect for that. We talked about that time, the weekend show, when he did his halftime show. Me and you both said that, hey man, the weekend is something I want to take my girl to, but it ain't something I want to see in a party like atmosphere. Bad
Mm.
Bunny gave me everything. Like, I personally, when I was DJing in Japan, playing a lot of Bad Bunny, so I was introduced to his song, and because I know like that guy, all the girls twerking. You go down to Yokohama,
Yeah.
man, you see the Brazilians out there giving it to you
Yeah.
out there, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Put the Bad Bunny on so I can see him work. So it did everything it was supposed to do. I really don't see why anybody would have a problem with this, and not to mention, it was a win-win for the NFL because Spanish is the most dominant spoken language in the world. You're trying to appeal to an international market. You got the most streamed artists on Spotify and any streaming service to do your show. With shout out to Jay-Z for booking that guy. It's a win-win. Not to mention the controversy on the other side makes him seem even more appealing, man. Because like you said, man, if you can fan the flames of white rage, I'm already in. Like, I'm like, shit, I definitely got to watch this now.
I mean, part of the thing was like, even before I knew much about Bad Bunny, the fact that a lot of people didn't seem to understand that Puerto Rico was part of America. And it's the same old trope of ignorant racist people not understanding what's going on and doing something counter to what's going on, not realizing that what's going on, it's not what they think it is, but they're too dumb to realize the obvious fact that it is not what you think it is. It's funny, but it's also sad that they went to the extent to create this other halftime show that is American, despite the fact that Puerto Rico was part of America. It's not a state, but it's a part of America. And it's just like, slight segue. There are racist marches here too. In Australia. And there was one last year. I forget what it was. Like, I don't really follow what the racists are doing, but it was anti-immigration or like one of those MAGA marches, basically, right? And after that, they went and ate Chinese food at a restaurant in Chinatown.
What you doing, bro? Like, racists want all the benefits of race, of the diversity, but they don't want to give any inclusion. Like, that's the problem with America, right? It's a melting pot, but it's hard getting that goddamn ice to melt. But like before it melts, same thing with rap. Oh, we don't rap music. That's hooligan music. That's thug music. And then you go to Turning Point USA, man. Bryce Lee out there rapping in country. I'm like, bro, what the fuck you talking about, man? But see, so I'm glad you brought up the point that a lot of folks didn't know that Puerto Rico was a part of America, and that's because we don't study American history. That's important because the Spanish-American War in 1898, if I'm not mistaken, is how we got Puerto Rico. It's imperialism. We actually took that shit in the war. We took Puerto Rico, we took Guam, and we took the Philippines. We gave the Philippines their independence in 1942, I want to say, like, don't quote me, around there. But we kept Puerto Rico. So technically, that's American history. You had an American at the Super Bowl, and you should be touting our diversity. But dumbasses don't know that because they're so stuck in imperialism, like Western imperialism. And what imperialism wants is not diversity. It wants you to bow down and assimilate. I keep telling everybody, man, American culture isn't just white culture. It's the dominant culture, but that's why you got this pushback because white folks want to stay the dominant culture and they're scared about what's going to replace that. Because there's no guarantee your culture is going to be the dominant culture, dog. It ain't. Nor should it be. Once again, you can love your culture. White man, I'm glad you love your culture. I want you to love your culture. But God damn it, don't put your culture on me. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
furthermore, just because I'm giving you another option, that don't mean your culture is getting erased. And that's another like fallacy of white people. I'm sorry, man, to get on this shit, but it pisses me off, man. I'm sorry, man.
No, no, no. To piggyback off of that, it's like the thing where it's like if you are a part of the privileged class, when other classes get privileges, you feel like your privileges are being reduced or your status is being reduced, even though you ain't nothing changed for you. But now you don't get to be better than, and these other motherfuckers can look at you eye to eye, and you don't like that. That's part of the yeah, the imperialism, colonialism, all that shit. You 100% right about that, dog. Let me tell you something, man. Like I'm not I do like learning about history. Like I listen to, a few different history podcasts just because I think history is super interesting and super dope, whether it be ancient history or modern history. But I have a college degree, okay? I graduated from university. I never studied much about like, Latin cultures and all that stuff, but I definitely did know that Puerto Rico was a part of America. I've known that since at least I was in high school. It's just, it should be, shouts out to Common Knowledge Podcast. It should be common knowledge. It's like, I knew Guam was a part of America, you
Saipan, people
know?
don't know that one. That was too. You know, Saipan.
And
The
it's
Virgin
like,
Islands, man. Like the Virgin Islands. Folks don't know
yeah,
the Virgin Islands. We got America and the British Virgin Islands.
it's like I knew this stuff. But it's like people can be so hateful and so bigoted and so racist that they see ghosts, they see monsters where there are none. They think there's monsters under the bed. And it's just like they're so blinded by that it's just they start to they don't even live in reality anymore at that point. If they went to the a little research would show you that Puerto Rico is part of America, but you don't fuck that noise, nigga. We're gonna go make an all-American halftime show. And I saw a snippet of one performance, and it was talking, but the lyrics for the song, they sounded like they was written by Chat GPT, talking about I just want to mow my grass. It's like motherfucker, go out and cut your lawn. What are you complaining about? That's all I saw, and I think that's all I needed to
I want to
see.
just cut my grass, feed my
Yeah,
dog,
yeah,
wipe my ass.
yeah. Pinch off a log, man. And
Hey
it's
man,
just
look,
like,
the music wasn't
yeah,
bad though. Seriously, on both, like on that side, I like country music. It's just what it stood for. I didn't like because you didn't have to do it. It was literally like you
mm,
said, white rage, and that's what I didn't like about it. It was just basically you guys trying to frame what you thought a real American was, and the subtext is he doesn't speak English, which he does, but he
he
sings in
definitely
Spanish.
does.
He sings in Spanish, so he can't be a real American, and that's that thing we was fighting against in Japan, right? Where people always thought you was from Portugal or Brazil, and I was always from Africa, right? Because we couldn't possibly be
Yeah.
American. Like they always ask, "What part of Africa you from?" Like, bitch, the part Obama's president in. What the fuck you mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? What part of Africa I'm from, right? But see, it's
Yeah.
that whole thing with the notion of the default American man, and that's because you frame it through a Eurocentric view. Like white means American to a lot of people, man. And I push back against them, like, nah, dog, I'm just as much American as you guys. Like, how dare you think of me as less than American? I am a full-blooded American, goddamn it, and I deserve the rights and privileges to come with this. Because let's be honest, man, the only thing we do to become Americans is be lucky enough to be born here, dog. Motherfuckers don't even know
Yep.
history, like you said. They don't know Puerto Rico's part of America, dog. You got this shit because you was lucky enough to be born here. That don't make you special.
Yeah. You could have been born in a fucked up, Civil War ridden third world country, but by the luck of the draw,
Well, that being the case, man, I want you to rank your top five Super Bowl show because I ain't gonna lie, man, this Super Bowl show is up there for me.
so Bad Bunny and them going backwards, Kendrick, Usher,
Usher,
Rihanna, Dre, Snoop, Eminem, all them, and Weekend and then Shakira, J-Lo, Maroon 5, Justin Timberlake, so on and so forth. That's the last few.
The last
We could
5.
keep going back. Yeah, but I would, because when I was thinking about this, I was trying to avoid recency bias, just because it's the new hot shit. But I do think because I was watching, I just to do a little bit of research, I went back and was looking at the early Super Bowl halftime shows, like Michael Jackson and all that, and production quality has come a
Long
long
way.
way. Would agree actually that the Bad Bunny. Um, it's in the conversation for top five all time, just in terms of the production quality, what it stood for, the execution, and all of that. I'd say you couldn't go wrong if you said, yeah, it was.
I'm just going to knock out number 1. Number 1 is Prince
Yeah,
for me. Hey,
thank you.
you're not going to get past Prince. That is number 1, undeniable. When Purple Rain comes on and God Himself makes it so it can start raining, wasn't expected. Even Jesus on your side, we got to make that number 1. Like nothing
Yeah.
is beating Prince. So let's go ahead and
Nah.
say Prince is number 1. Now MJ,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I damn near got to make that 5. Just like MJ was called in because the NFL was losing viewership during the halftime show. If you guys recall, In Living Color did a halftime show, and more people switched over to Fox to watch In Living Color. And the NFL like, no, we got to stop this shit. Bring in Michael Jackson. That's why Michael Jackson got called in. And that's when the Super Bowl show started becoming a big production. Because of that, they're like, man, we got to keep these people here. Because, look, you switch off, ain't no guarantee you're going to switch back on. Like, something else may catch your attention.
You
So,
might forget and be like, oh shit, it's been an hour. What's going on with the game?
and for me, I lean more towards entertainers. Like singers, I don't want to see singers perform in a live venue. I want to see them in an intimate venue or maybe listen to their songs. If you gave me $100 right now and I had to pick between seeing a Beyonce show and an Adele show, I think Adele is a vastly superior singer than Beyonce. But I'm gonna go see Beyonce because Beyonce gonna dance, she gonna shake, she might cut a back flip in this bitch. I want to be entertained, damn it. She gonna give me a whole production. Adele gonna be
Yeah.
one place on stage, give me them notes, and I'm gonna love it. But it ain't gonna be as good as that Beyonce show.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and yeah, I think venue matters for sure. Yeah.
so I'm gonna go number 1, Prince. Number 2, I'm gonna go with J-Lo and Shakira because you got 50-year-old baddies out there shaking it and giving it to you. I thought that was dope. 3, I'm gonna go with Kendrick Lamar. 4, Bad Bunny, and 5, MJ. I can be convinced.
right.
That's my 5. That's my 5 now.
All
I may
right.
change it after you say yours.
I'm just gonna say I wouldn't include Shakira and J-Lo in mines just because their catalog, I just don't feel like their catalog brings enough heat for me to put them in the top 5 for Super Bowl shows. If you're talking like just baddie shaking it, like I mean, I can't argue with that. But if we're just talking about the Super Bowl halftime show, their catalog ain't heavy enough for that.
That's fair.
Is what
Okay,
I
you know
would
what? I removed that one. Matter of fact, you see, you talked me out of it. Let me remove that out of mine. What's your 5?
I would definitely. I'm with you, Prince, number 1. And number 2.
Are you gonna go with Usher? Because I think I made.
No, 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 no. Usher ain't in my top 5. I think it was good, but not my top 5. Number 2, man, I kind of want to say Kendrick, but I also don't want to like come off too Black Panthery. But Kendrick was really good.
It was really good though.
Fuck it. I'll say Kendrick. Kendrick number 2.
It's a good pick.
And then number 3, I mean, oh, man, number 3 is almost the one that had Beyonce and Bruno Mars, but was that
Coldplay
the
one?
one that, and then they had that third dude came out at the end.
The Coldplay one had Beyonce and Bruno Mars come out, if I'm not mistaken. But that's the Coldplay show. Yeah, the Coldplay show had Beyonce and Bruno Mars. And that was the best part of that show. That whole Coldplay Super
Yeah.
Bowl was cheeks until they came out. Like I was literally
So
about to go to sleep.
yeah. Okay, so that's what I want to say. If it was just Bruno and Beyonce, minus the Coldplay, I'd put that one in the list. But because of the Coldplay part, I can't put him in that list. Definitely got to put Michael Jackson in because he's really the one that like kicked off all this Super Bowl shit. Because I was looking at Wikipedia before
True.
then, they had like university bands playing
Bands
like
and
marching.
yeah,
Right, so Michael Jackson really
Carol
and
Channing.
he came out on top of the fucking what was it like the it's not a Megatron. What do they call them big screens?
Jumbotron.
The
Megatron.
Jumbotron.
Megatron.
He came out on top of the Jumbotron with the smoke and shit, and then he like comes out on the stage and
They
he's just
stared at
looking at
him.
him for like 2 minutes,
Gave that
just
look.
looking, staring him down. Yeah.
Angle,
So he
that's a
kicked
flex,
off all
dog.
that shit.
You get stare for 2 minutes and motherfuckers passing out, bro. That's a
Yeah.
flex.
I would put Prince number one, and then just off that, I might put Mike number two, just because he really started this shit, and he started it, and not usually the people who started off, it can have some hiccups and be like, oh, they got to figure it out, but Mike came with a show, so
Mike is the
I
show,
put him number
actually.
two,
Yeah.
literally. I put Kendrick number three, and then. Um, Bro, I'm gonna say I might have to put the Rolling Stones
That's a good
at
pool.
4 or 5
That's a
because I
good pool.
went back and checked it out and I was like,
Yeah.
these are bona fide
Yeah.
rock legends.
Yeah. That's a good pool.
And like,
Damn good pool.
and you know them old school rock stars know how to put on a fucking
Yeah.
show.
They did damn good show. Yeah, that's a good pool. Man, damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to redo mine. What's your
So
five? What's
so
your fifth though?
I didn't say Bad Bunny yet, did I? So I'd say
No.
Bad Bunny. I'll put him at number 5. I'll put
Hey,
Rolling Stones at number 4.
your list is vastly superior to mine. I gotta redo my list. Okay, so first we're gonna agree. Prince, number one. I'll do Prince. I think I'm gonna steal your number two and say MJ. Because you're right. What you said is 110% true. He was the first one to kick off the modern day Super Bowl show. He doesn't get the credit he deserved, but he was the show and he did a damn good job. So that'd be number two. Number three, now that I think about it, man. I'm
I might put Bad Bunny at number 3 instead of Kendrick, actually.
gonna go with Bad Bunny for number three. Number four, I'm gonna go with Kendrick. And now five gets a little tricky because I could do the Rolling Stones because that was a damn good show. But that Bruce Springsteen show was damn good too.
Bruce, man. Yeah, it's that OG shit.
I'm a Steven Tyler fan, so I'm gonna go with the Aerosmith show. The only part I didn't like about that was the
Yeah.
NSYNC. but I'm gonna go with Aerosmith
Yeah.
because that's the one that brought out what Nelly and Britney Spears.
Bro, you stay riding for Nelly.
Hey man, Nelly doesn't get the
Oh,
credit he deserves now.
I'm
He
sorry.
doesn't.
Look, I don't know, bro. Like, I just he did hot in her at the Super Bowl, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. That's a no for me, dog. I
Hey man,
can't.
why you hate Nelly so much, bro?
I don't hate him, man. I acknowledge what he contributed to my life at a certain time of my maturation and my growth from a youth into a young man. But at the Super Bowl, it ain't hot in here, dog. It ain't. And that song, that gave me some formative ideas that carried on later into my life in a good way. But it ain't the Super Bowl. And Nelly, I'm sorry, dog. I don't have nothing against him. I just don't think it was better than Bone Thugs and Harmony. That's all I'm saying.
Hey man, we've had this debate for so many years now. I think Nelly is better than Bone Thugs and Harmony. I will stand on that branch and on that ship alone. And people have been quick to call me, man. Remember that podcast we did? Everybody's like, man, get this man the fuck out of here. I'm like, yo, I can't have an opinion. Them folks came for me like, man, get this man the fuck out of here. I'm like, I thought I gave legit reasons why. Like, you can disagree with me, but they was on my ass about that one. I was like, yo, oh,
Yeah, but that debate aside, I don't think again, I don't think Nelly has. I just don't think in terms of performative ability and catalog, it just doesn't say Super Bowl to me. personally. Like that's just me. Because
All
if
right.
you look at Nelly versus like Kendrick, two rappers, or even the Snoop, Dre, Eminem, like Nelly in terms of just performative artistic expression, I just don't think he's got it.
Okay, okay, but okay, I'm looking in the context of that Aerosmith show. Nelly was a breath of fresh air because you had Aerosmith, Justin Timberlake, and NSYNC, Britney Spears, and then Nelly. So Nelly was the breath of fresh air. The same light. What's the three worst Super Bowl shows that you remember? Have you ever seen?
I haven't actually seen that one, but I've heard it shout on so much that yeah, it's got to be in there. There was one early on, dog. It was like all country.
Oh, that's
Um,
the one after
was
Michael
it 90?
Jackson. The
Was it
Judge.
94? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the Judge,
Yeah,
Tanya Tucker,
that was
Clint Black,
that
and
was Cheeks. That was
yeah,
Cheeks.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and then who else do we got? Because some of the early ones, they were trying to figure it out.
I mean, the '93 is where we started off, right? Like the
Yeah.
modern Super Bowl show doesn't start from '93. Like anything past '93, complete cheats. Like the one with the New Kids on the Block, I'm not counting that shit. The one with Carol Channing, I'm
Nah,
not counting that shit. Like
nah.
the marching bands, the hell with that. The Super Bowl halftime show starts in '93 with Michael Jackson, and from that on, because all those are just cheats. I'm just gonna call all those complete cheats. But since the modern day, I would say I gotta throw Coldplay in there because that shit was boring as hell. Once again, it wasn't for Beyonce and Bruno Mars. That would just
Hmm.
been a complete L. That was the only highlight. So that gotta be in there.
And I would say that the Motown one wasn't great.
It was not great, right?
As much as I love Motown music, the Super Halftime Show wasn't good because it's like you had the Temptations, but it's not all the original members because a few of them were dead.
Dead.
You had Smokey, who I don't really like Smokey Robinson, dog. Like,
I don't like Smokey either, man. I think he's overblown.
yeah,
Overrated. Right.
I don't know why he was so big, but I just don't get it.
I just feel like me and
Um,
Smokey would have had beef if I was around that time. I just feel like he been the type of dude I don't want to be around. I don't know why. I'm
nah,
just
man.
judging off how he looks.
Bro, I think it's his singing style, and I think he tries too hard to be pretty. Like
That's
you
what I
look at
hate.
him now, and like he's had a lot of work done. He's trying to be pretty too hard for too long, and you could see it. Like I could even feel that essence about him in that song. What that song he did with Rick James, Ebony Eyes. That's what it is. Ebony Eyes. Um, just listening to the song, Rick kills it. Smokey, his vocals don't do it for me. I'm watching the music video, and I was like, oh yeah, that's why his vocals don't do it for me, because just look at this nigga. And he's a legend, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but like he just never really did it for me. But the Temps, if they had all original members of the Temptations, man, like that would have been epic, I think. But a few of them was already dead by that one. And overall, the show, because it was like you're mixing the Temptations and then you bring in Boys to Men, and it's just like it's too clashy. It's too clashy.
Wasn't
Because like
Queen Latifah in that
Motown
show too?
Philly back again. Yeah, Queen Latifah was there too. So
Doesn't
it's
match
like
at all.
it was just too much shit thrown together, and yeah, so that one, as much as I love Motown, that was not a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Coldplay. Then I think I got to actually throw in that country one with the Judge. Get that the fuck out of here. And Justin Timberlake was my third one.
Yeah, the
Because I
Phil
feel like
Collins one also. Go ahead, I don't want to cut you off.
no, Phil Collins had one. Which one was that?
Like, it was 2000. It was Phil Collins, Christina Aguilera, Enrique Iglesias, Tony Braxton, Edward James Olmos.
2000.
Oh, that was the narrator. And like I love Phil Collins, but like I want him to be drumming.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Like, and he wasn't drumming. He was just standing there singing, and I was like, damn, Phil, like part of your bag is you that drummer that can kill it and sing. And then I was just like, I don't want to see you standing there singing.
He's in my
And
top
then
10 drummers.
Enrique
Yeah.
Iglesias was like a pop sensation, but like he's outclassed, bro. He can't stand next to Phil Collins. And even he can't even stand next to Christina Aguilera. And
Can't.
she was still young in
Yeah.
2000, but her vocal chop's always been there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think as a show, this is nothing against Phil. He's a fucking legend. But as a show, I just didn't think that one was very good.
I can respect that. That's a good pull. What do you
What do you
guys
think of the
think?
U2 one?
Oh, no, man. The YouTube one was good. How dare
I
you?
never saw it. No. This is
How dare
no
you,
shade.
sir?
No shade. I never saw it. I'm not shitting on it, but I know you probably saw it.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm just
Bono
asking,
is a,
what
is a
do you
treasure.
think of it?
I love that guy. The YouTube one was a damn good show. Like, it was.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Matter of fact,
Yeah,
YouTube did that by them damn selves, and it was good. I was not bored at all. Like Bono gets a lot of shit for being like too much. Okay, so Bono is kind of like Smokey Robinson. He's a tryhard, but I mean, there's a bunch of tryhards that we all like. Bono is the one we like. Tupac is a tryhard that we all like.
The more
just-
time passes, the more tryhard I realized Tupac was.
Oh man, Tupac was the biggest tryhard ever, bro. Like
Yeah.
the older I get, the more, and I know I'm finna like really piss. I mean, you know what? We need to do a random show on that by itself. But what do you guys
Put
think?
a pin in that.
Yeah, what do you guys think? How was this Super Bowl? How would you rank everything? Let us know in the comments. Peace.
Did you know Puerto Rico was a part of America? Let us know in the comments.
If you did, man, unfollow me.